Hey, it's the Coco Nomad here, still on vacation in Barbosa, Colombia. But I got an idea while I was here, and I thought it'd be good to do a series on healthy habits while you're hustling, while you're doing your side projects, or while you're trying to launch a business. Because I see a lot of videos, people talk about working 80 hours a week, or they talk about reading 500 books a year, some ridiculous number. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about the simple things that you can do on a frequent basis to sustain your level of effort, to make sure you're as efficient as possible, to make sure that you can stay focused, that you can recharge or re-energize. And the vacation was an example of one of those things that I did that allowed me to sort of break the monotony. I'd been sort of, everybody's in quarantine and lockdown and have been for several months, and finally getting that break. But it gave me an opportunity to kind of take a step back and think about what are my daily and weekly practices that I do to keep me engaged in my work, so that keep the ideas flowing, so that I don't get burnt out and things like that. And I've decided today that I'd start with the first one, which is naps. It's really simple. It's really easy. A lot of people don't do it, especially as an adult if you have a 9 to 5. Although I know lots of startups that sort of like have the napping rooms or rest areas that inside of the workplace for people, usually because they're working, ridiculously long hours. But it's something that I've incorporated into my daily workflow since I think about 2002, 2003. I spent a summer in Spain and was introduced to the siesta in a real sense, in the sense that everything sort of shut down in the midday. People get up really early, and then during the middle of the day, a lot of things were closed. People would go home and rest and eat and spend time with the family, and then shops would open back up at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I really enjoyed that, and it sort of took me back to being a kid going to school. I remember in kindergarten and maybe even first grade having nap time in school. So it was one of those things that you do and you are able to sort of recharge. And I use it effectively now, in the sense that this is how I break up my day. I tend to get up really, really early, between like 4:30 and 6 in the morning, and get started with work, because I really like working in the early part of the day before it gets too loud, before there's a lot of street noise, there's a lot of activity. And then I like to take a break in the middle of the day and then go back to doing some other sort of work, maybe that project or a different project in the afternoon. So say, for instance, in the morning I may be dedicated to client work, and I'll be working on a client project, and may even have meetings, try to schedule those in the first part of the day, and then not have anything scheduled between like noon and 4 o'clock, because that's when I'm going to eat, I'm going to take a break, I'm going to take that nap. So for me, that nap is really, really important. And I literally do it kindergarten style. Like, I have a snack, I watch a cartoon, and I take a nap. And if I'm really grumpy, then it really helps, because I wake up and I'm in a much better mood in the second part of the day. And then I'm ready to take on more projects, more work. Allows me to sort of recharge and refocus. So in that way, in that small way, without having to necessarily take a vacation and come out somewhere like this and spend a week, you can actually create these small little mini techniques for recharging and re-engaging in your work that allow you to keep going. So I hope you find that effective. Think about doing that. I know it's not possible for everybody, although I've actually had 9 to 5 jobs where I've sat in a chair as uncomfortable as the plastic chair I'm sitting in right now, and was able to take a nap during my lunch break. So where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to try to figure out a way, I would advise you to do something a little more comfortable than sitting in a chair. I know that everybody can do that. But just find a way to sort of take that break, allow your brain to really sort of shut down, get that rest. It doesn't have to be long. I'm not talking about like 90 minutes, but even 20 to 30 minutes is really effective. I highly suggest it. Let me know in the comments if it works for you, or if it's something that you already do as a part of your workflow practice to sort of keep you at your like higher energy level, help you regain focus. Click like or subscribe if you want to see some more of these. I have a few more coming up. I have about 6 or 7 of these, I guess, of like little techniques that I use quite a bit that I think are effective, and I do use them almost every day. Most of them are definitely multiple times a week, but I'd love to hear from you and see how that works for you as well. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.